So you don't have the women that you want in your life, and you don't seem to be getting any closer to having them. Well, you're in luck. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to build your confidence in a way that draws these women in. We're also going to be talking about how to boost your self-esteem brick by brick, one positive experience after another positive experience. I'm Anthony. This is High Integrity Dating. Let's jump right into it. You've been out approaching for days, weeks, months, years, and you're not getting the results that you came for. Meaning that women are still telling you they have boyfriends when you know they clearly don't. You're getting numbers and texting, but these texts are actually not leading to dates, meaning that women are actually not committing to a date and a time to meet up with you. If this is you, I know how it can be. It's pretty frustrating. I've been there, I've overcome it, I've gotten to the other side of it. So I created a program specifically for you guys who are struggling in these areas with getting your approaches to take off. This program is called 30 Days to Approaching Freedom, and it's designed to hold you accountable and coach you for 30 days straight so that you can develop attracting, building habits, and they become very unconscious for you so that you don't even have to think about them anymore. The minute that you walk up, you start to attract women almost immediately. So if this is something that you feel will benefit you, go ahead and hit the link in the description, set up a call, let's chat about where you are currently in relation to approaching and how we can get you to the other side of that to actually start getting you results. This program caps out at 10 guys. There's already 2 guys in it, so we got 8 spots available. Program starts November 13th and runs through December 12th, and I would love to see you in it. I would love to help you overcome your struggles with approaching to start actually seeing results. Anyways, guys, hit that link, set up a call, and I will see you on the other side. Now back to the video. Let's talk about confidence. And what is confidence? Confidence really is just your ability to show up in an unknown situation and feel completely safe and completely comfortable. Think about a guy who walks up to a group of girls, right? Maybe it's 5 girls in a group, but there's a girl in that group that he likes. So he starts walking over there to that group, and sure, maybe he's a little bit nervous, maybe he's a little tense because he doesn't know how it's going to go. But he's going to show up anyway and be that charming, confident guy that he is because he knows there's a potential for something great on the other side of that. Now, confidence is truly your ability to embrace who you are, to embrace your emotions, to embrace your weaknesses, to embrace your strengths, right? But also to embrace awkward moments. And this is where men with confidence shine in awkward moments. Brian used to use this analogy. If a guy in a bar drops a bottle of beer or drops his glass of beer and it shatters and everyone in the bar sees him, how does a confident guy respond versus a guy who's a little less confident, more reactive? Well, the guy who's less confident and reactive will probably rush to get the mess cleaned up to save face so that he doesn't have to be seen and being embarrassed and making a mistake. Where a confident guy might take all those eyes that are looking at him, relax into it, enjoy it, may say something really funny out loud, and take his time cleaning up the mess. Another good one is, let's say you're a guy and you see a girl in a parking lot, right? And you're like, damn, this girl's hot. I want to go stop her, but there's a part of me that feels like if I walk over there, she's going to feel cornered, or if people see me chasing her down, they're going to feel like I'm trying to do something to her. Or a confident guy might see the same situation, and he might not even think about the deterrence at all, because to him, this is totally normal and natural to do. It's a woman, he's attracted, he's going to go over there and talk to her, and it's going to turn out well. And even if he did see the deterrence, he's going to show up in it anyway, because that's a part of confidence, right? Courage. Now, I've got a friend named Jonathan who one time, he was in a grocery store and he saw this beautiful woman. And he wanted to stop her in the store, but there was too many people. And so she started to leave the store and she made it into the parking lot. So he also went out the store and made it into the parking lot. He realized that she was going to her car and she was getting there pretty fast. So he knew he had to figure this out before she got in the car. So he started to make his way over there. But by the time he got there, the girl was already in the car. So what did Jonathan do? Well, Jonathan knocked on the window and she rolled down the window and was like, excuse me? And he was like, I'm sorry, I saw you back there. I thought you were beautiful and I wanted to meet you. Something like that. And he said she lit up. And they ended up talking in that parking lot for like 10 or 15 minutes. He ended up getting her number, saw her that same night, and they end up like dating for like the next 3 months. So when you think about confidence, what it really is that you feel comfortable in the unknown. You feel comfortable being seen. You feel confident where most people would normally shrink or disappear completely. Now, the real question here is, how do you become confident if you're not feeling confident right now? That's a really good question. Now, the thing about confidence, and a beautiful part about confidence, is that you can actually build confidence. It's actually built. Sure, some people are born into families where they're nurtured into being confident people. They're nurtured into being comfortable in very uncomfortable situations. But for the average guy is probably not confident. So how do you actually do it? How do you actually take yourself from where you are now to a person who might be lacking confidence to a person who's fully confident in himself? The answer to that is repetition. Repetition will make you confident in any given thing that you put yourself in repetitively. So if we think about approaching and meeting women, for instance, sure, a lot of us start off lacking confidence. We're not sure how to navigate approaching a woman. We have a lot of fear about whether we're going to be received or not, or how we're going to be received, or she's just going to push us away and reject us. Now, when you make it a practice to go out every day, and you make it a practice to specifically work on certain areas of your approaching, for example, when you walk up, learning how to create a connection, the eye contact, or opening up the heart, or practicing on not losing your ground when you're talking to somebody that you're attracted to, right? When that tension in the body wants to rise up, learning how to let it come down, feel your feet, feel the ground beneath you, and not waver. Now, if you go out and you specifically practice particular things over a given period of time, what's going to happen is you're going to start to develop a sense of confidence in that particular area. Let's use the grounding, for instance. If you go out and do, let's say, 3 approaches a day, and your main objective is, I'm going to go into these approaches with the intention to just focus on having my energy come down to my feet so I can ground so that I don't go up into my head. What's going to happen is 1 day in, 2 days in, 3 days in, a week in, maybe even a month in, you're going to start to develop a sense of doing this unconsciously, meaning that it's going to become unconscious behavior, meaning that you're not going to have to consciously think about it. It's just going to start to happen. Now, I remember when I first started going out, taking the fearless principles and putting them into practice, they will put me in my head because I will be so conscious of, like, am I on my feet right now? Do I feel my legs? Am I grounded right now? That it would take me out of the interaction. Didn't take a long period of time for it to start to become very natural, because I became very aware of what my legs felt like in the interaction. I became very aware of what it felt like for that energy to drop, all that nervous energy, all that energy that wants to rise up and get locked up in the face or get locked up in the chest, right? I got really used to what that was like, feeling my feet. And so I started to notice I wasn't thinking about it anymore. It was just happening on its own naturally. And how did I know that I was actually getting it? Well, the feedback that I was getting, meaning that the real world was giving me feedback. It was mirroring back to me how I was being. And Brian's always said this, which is very true. Women respond to who you are being in the moment, not what you say. This is why certain guys get away with asking very boring, generic questions, because they do it from a grounded place. They do it from a place where they're connecting with the woman through the eyes. There's a lot of feeling going on, right? Probably a lot of turn on too. But he's holding her in this bubble, in this space, and there's a sub-communication that's going on between the bodies, so that the words are not important. It's the language that's being spoken between the two bodies. So when a guy's got a girl in a bubble, she's loving the feeling of it. So anything that he says is completely acceptable. He can literally just start making animal noises and it'll come out very funny as long as he stays connected. And the average guy doesn't do that. He asks these questions from a very disconnected place, right? He's not creating a bubble with a girl. There's no solidity in him. There's no groundedness in him. There's not a whole lot of feeling being transferred between him and her. So these words just kind of, these questions just kind of go over the girl's head. And she's just kind of like, okay, I've been asked these questions all night by different guys. I'm kind of getting tired of it. But no guy has really penetrated her and asked these questions. So if you actually go out and you start to practice connecting, eye contact, like I said, feeling your feet, sub-communication, you'll start to notice that women respond to you a lot different. They start to perk up a lot different. Their body language around you changes. And you'll notice when you're hitting this, because it'll consistently start to happen consistently with different women. And then you start to say like, damn, things are actually starting to change. And then from there, it's so easy to just move it forward to a date, get a number, get an instant date. So go out, practice certain things. And the main things that I would actually focus on are connection, eye contact, not wavering, creating a bubble between you and the woman, grounding yourself so that anxiety doesn't take you out. If you go out and just practice these things every day, or at least one of these things every day, and keep a journal of your approaches and what you're learning, you'll start to notice that in like 2 or 3 days, it'll have gotten so much better that you're starting to get a different reaction out of women. And we'll talk about that in the self-esteem part. But that right there will motivate you to keep going. So pick one of those things. Go out and practice it every single day for like a week, and just notice how women respond differently to you as you get better at doing this. And if you don't do it well your first few times out, don't take it personal. Remember, you're starting. You're starting, so you're going to make mistakes. There's going to be things in there that you just don't get down perfectly. But this is another part of confidence, right? Being okay with making mistakes. Being okay with not getting it perfect, right? That's a part of your authenticity. You're learning. Don't beat yourself up. Don't go into self-abuse mode that you're not getting it right. Get out there and practice again. Just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. What'll happen is over time, you'll start getting the feedback from the world. But then again, your amount of self-love starts to go up too. You'll start to have a lot of self-acceptance, and you'll start to actually just feel naturally more happy because you're probably communicating with a lot more women than you've ever communicated with in your life. Another part of that confidence is learning to master your emotions. And that's what the repetition really teaches, right? On the surface, we're going out, we're practicing all these things, but the real beneath the surface thing that's really going on is that we're learning how to handle our emotions. We're learning how to take the emotions that we're not comfortable with, and we're learning how to get comfortable with them. We're learning how to not allow them to take us out, to make us stop, to make us fall short of what we're trying to attain. So that's really what's going on. So let's say, I'll give you an example. If you're walking up to do an approach, and then you have a tendency to shrink and get small when you walk up to meet a woman, and your voice gets low, and you're not showing up big in confidence, you're learning how to master all the emotions that come with you wanting to shrink in the first place, right? Because when you want to shrink, there's a lot of fear there. And when you start to really learn how to deal with that fear and face that fear head on, your body will actually start to open up. You start to accept yourself more. The way you come off appears a lot different to women, right? You're also going to be experiencing emotions that come from rejection when it happens, right? Maybe some grief, maybe some anger, maybe some frustration. You're also going to be learning how to deal with those emotions as they rise up. Brian always said this, and it's very true. We approach not to get women, which you will get women, but we approach to bring to the surface the weeds, the insecurities that are there, which are the reason that we don't approach confidently in the first place, so that we can actually confront them and finally deal with them. And that's where releasing comes in, and it's really powerful. So realize that as you're going through this stuff, it's a training to get confident, but as you get confident, you're dropping layers of emotional baggage that have been keeping you stuck for years and years and years on end. Anyways, let's go ahead and move over to the self-esteem portion of this video. Now, what is self-esteem and how do you boost your self-esteem? Now, when you actually go out and you make it a practice to approach, in a weird way, you're kind of going to boost your self-esteem if you keep it going. Because what's going to happen is this. You're going to start meeting more women. You're going to start getting more numbers. You're going to start going on more dates. So naturally, what's going to happen is your self-esteem is going to rise. And what is your self-esteem really but how you see yourself? The way you look at yourself is going to start to change. So if right now you're in a place where you feel like you bother people are bothered by you when you stop them. People don't want to talk to you. You don't think that you're attractive. You don't think that you're social. All these things are going to start to change because the outcome and the results that you're getting say a lot different than what your internal state says. So the more you go out and you enhance your skills and become more confident, naturally you'll notice that you feel a lot better about yourself, right? Now, I'm not saying that women are going to change your self-esteem, but your capability starts to change. You start to actually feel like a person who's capable of going out and getting what he wants in the world. Getting what he wants in the world. You start to actually feel like you're capable of going out and getting what you want in the world. And that in turn converts into other aspects of your life too, business, money, health. You start to also feel like you're capable of having the goals that you set for yourself in those particular areas. So naturally that will just tornado your self-esteem and blow it up even bigger. So anyways, guys, go out, make it a practice every day to approach, get better at this stuff consistently. And if you need help, I've got a 30-day program that I'm doing, starts November 13th, runs through December 12th, where we hold you massively accountable for approaching for 30 days straight. That's 2 Zoom calls a week. That's about 8 Zoom calls. We got a secret WhatsApp group. We put you in there too. And we give you a task and a goal for the 30 days that you're in the program. And you have the opportunity to change massively. Just imagine how much better you'll be at approaching if you had 30 days of consistent practice, right? You'll develop so many new habits, and a lot of those habits will become very unconscious for you in the long run. Anyways, guys, I hope you go out there and kill it. I love you guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.